I'm Chris Hansen, right now on Crime Watch Daily from here in New York. Two women, seemingly in love, mysteriously go missing over the Christmas holidays.
I almost had a panic attack.
One of their cars found abandoned. The mystery deepens with a gruesome discovery.
There's a leg washed up in St. Pete.
Was it a lover's quarrel turned deadly?
She said they were fighting all night.
Or did someone else have a murderous motive?
I knew who the guilty one was.
The chase is on as our Jason Matera hunts for answers.
It looks like they actually are trying to evade us.
Plus, one teen vanishes.
I need my son home.
Then another.
He was like, Mom, I'll be home in a little bit, but he never made it home.
Does this surveillance video hold the clues to solve the case?
Not one tip, not one call.
It's very odd.
Right now,
Andrea Isom, sir, with Crime Watch Daily.
Jason Matera with Crime Watch Daily.
this
I'm Elizabeth. I'm here with Crime Watch.
I'm Michelle from Crime Watch Daily.
Anna Garcia from Crime Watch.
is Crime Watch Daily.
Stay off my property.
We'll find you again. We always do.
Welcome to Crime Watch Daily, everyone. I'm Chris Hansen. We start today with a mystery in Florida, one that involves a couple who appeared to be madly in love and a gruesome discovery made on the beach. Jason Matera is outside St. Petersburg now with our all-new investigation.
Chris, the Florida couple, Kelly Moriarty and Pat Carter, were last seen here in Plant City on December 16th. And now police are wondering if the big events that happened on December 15th had anything to do with their disappearance.
She's running 90. I'm backing way now. We're passing exit 17. She's in and out of traffic.
The chase is on
It looks like they actually are trying to evade us.
to catch a potential killer.
I know for a fact that she's the one that done it.
It's a high-speed murder mystery, and at the end of this road,
Murder is one thing, but when you cut somebody up into pieces, you gotta be an animal.
Everybody knows who did it.
it's 2 days after Christmas, and holiday tourists pack the coastal city of St. Pete, Florida. A group of Canadian visitors take a sunrise stroll at the water's edge, and that's when they spot something in the pre-dawn light.
There's a leg washed up on one of the inlets in St. Pete.
A month earlier, and 25 miles inland, 38-year-old massage school student Kelly Moriarty is wrapping up her classes.
She made the honor roll. She was excellent, and she really was looking forward to the new career.
And now Kelly can't wait for the holiday break, and her big family is excited to see her.
She was the youngest of four. She grew up with three older brothers. Just fun, outgoing, always trying to tag along with her older brothers wherever we went.
She had a great laugh. She was always happy.
Kelly usually celebrates the holidays at her brother Brendan's home.
Kelly would come over every holiday at Thanksgiving and Christmas.
But this year, Kelly is making her own plans.
She had phoned my mother and let my mother know that she would be spending Thanksgiving at Pat's home.
Pat, as in her partner, 61-year-old Pat Carter. Kelly and Pat have allegedly been dating for 2 years. They met after Pat's husband Ed, a former Hillsborough County Sheriff's deputy, passed away. The relationship came as a surprise to Pat's family, but they seem supportive.
She says, Charlie, I ain't never been so happy in my life. I think that I was gay all my life.
The best we could tell, it was a very good relationship. They enjoyed each other's company and got along very, very well.
So well that they plan to spend the holidays together for the first time. Then Thanksgiving comes and goes, and Kelly's mom checks in with her only daughter.
I waited until after Thanksgiving and called her to see how it was. And she said it was fun. And I said, who cooked? And, you know, the normal conversation. Pat cooked, and who was there? Family. She never told me anything more than she had to when it came to Pat. I don't know why.
This is the last time Kelly's family speaks to her.
Kelly and Pat were actually going to spend Christmas at Kelly's apartment. My mother made a couple attempts to communicate with Kelly, left messages on her machine, all of which were unresponded to.
Was it unusual for Kelly not to reach out to you? I mean, how often did you guys speak?
A lot. She would usually call me.
Now Christmas is over and still no word from Kelly.
Then I knew that something bad had happened.
Desperate for answers, Kelly's parents try to reach out to her partner, Pat. There's just one problem.
I didn't know anything about Pat. I didn't even know her last name.
At this point, the only way Kelly's parents can get a hold of their daughter is by her cell phone. Now, late January, things go from bad to worse when a voice answers Kelly's phone. It's automated.
They said her phone has been disconnected. I almost had a panic attack, so I called Brendan right away.
Unfortunately, she's not the only frantic phone call to Brendan. Kelly's apartment manager calls and informs Brendan that his sister is over 3 weeks late on her January rent. Yes, January. Kelly's family hasn't heard from her since Thanksgiving. That was 2 months ago. Brendan calls the police.
But I thought that something was wrong. He had advised me to come down and fill out a missing persons report with the detectives at the Bradenton Police Department.
Then, with a police escort in tow, Brendan enters his sister's apartment.
Something was wrong.
Once inside,
it was very, very clear that nothing had been touched in some time. Christmas tree was up. There were presents under the tree.
Were you alarmed?
Absolutely. Hadn't heard from my sister since before Thanksgiving, and we get to her apartment after Christmas. Christmas presents are unopened, mail's stacked up. Absolutely, I was alarmed.
The apartment is frozen in time. Inside Kelly's home, it's Christmas, but outside, it's well into the new year. The very next day, detectives from Bradenton PD locate Pat Carter's home address in Plant City. And when they knock on the door, to their shock and surprise, someone answers.
Pat's daughter. That's the first we heard of her daughter, Stacy Morrell. And they said she was very polite and said she didn't know where they were. She told the police that they went on a trip and would definitely be back.
Stacy, her husband Anthony, and their daughter have been temporarily living at her mother's house since losing their home to foreclosure. And when police asked Pat's daughter when she last saw her mother,
between the times of 10 p.m. and midnight of December 16th.
Yeah, that's a long stretch.
Correct. You're looking at approximately 6 weeks, 6 to 7 weeks after they went missing from the time that Kelly Moriarty was first reported as missing to Bradenton PD.
And according to Stacy, on the night the couple left,
she said they were fighting all night.
In fact, as court records would soon reveal, behind closed doors, Pat and Kelly may have been anything but a happy couple. Coming up, where are Kelly and Pat? And a shocking discovery on the beach. A leg. Whose is it?
She indicated to the police Kelly had killed Pat.
Kelly and Pat had fallen in love, and friends say the couple often went on long road trips where they were out of contact from everyone. So they didn't think it was weird that they hadn't heard from them, at least at first. Jason Matera is back in Florida now with more of our all-new investigation.
38-year-old Kelly Moriarty and her girlfriend, 61-year-old Pat Carter, are missing. The last time anyone saw the Florida couple was about 2 months ago. Now, police are wondering if it was a lover's squabble turned deadly.
She said they were fighting all night and that maybe Kelly had killed Pat.
That Kelly had killed Pat because they were fighting.
That's the story I got, that Kelly killed Pat.
And court records appear to support Stacy's theory. Just months before the women went missing, Pat filed a restraining order against Kelly after they got into a fight that involved a gun.
I look back now and realize they were having a lot of problems.
Kelly also filed a counterclaim. Both were dismissed by the judge for lack of evidence. Then detectives get a break in the case.
Kelly's car was found on Route 62, a rural area.
The black Cadillac had been abandoned alongside the road. It was a gift to Kelly from Pat.
Kelly would die before she would leave her car. She wouldn't let Grace or I even drive it.
And cops know exactly when the car was left there, thanks to a parking ticket left on the windshield.
4 days after they were last seen.
But why are detectives just now finding out about Kelly's abandoned car? Turns out the Cadillac was towed to an impound lot where it sat for over a month before the tags were run and linked the car to Kelly. Hillsborough Sheriff's Department takes the lead on the investigation since Pat and Kelly were last seen in their jurisdiction.
We processed Kelly Moriarty's vehicle ourselves.
Any clues or evidence that you're able to share that you gathered from the car, or did it just leave more questions?
I can tell you that there was multiple things collected from the vehicle. At this point, I'm not at liberty to share with you the exact details of what was collected.
And once the car is processed, Detective Tom Dirks recalls an earlier conversation he had with the St. Petersburg police around the holidays. It concerned a severed leg they had discovered washed up on one of their beaches 2 days after Christmas.
They definitely said that it was either a black female or a Hispanic female. So at that point, we didn't really take interest into it because it didn't match the description of either Pat or Kelly.
But with the recent discovery of Kelly's car, Detective Dirks makes a game-changing decision.
Go ahead and compare the DNA profiles that we created involving both Kelly Moriarty and Pat Carter. Just because of the close proximity, it was actually to the date that they were last seen.
While cops wait for the DNA results, a timeline for their investigation begins to emerge. December 16th, the couple is seen for the last time. December 20th, Kelly's car is discovered abandoned. December 27th, a severed leg washes up on a nearby beach. Then one more date, March 23rd, the day the DNA results come in.
The remains were identified and belonged to Kelly Moriarty.
Kelly's family is notified.
Losing your sister is very difficult. Can I take him up?
Murder is one thing, but dismemberment is wrong. It's evil.
And it's capital murder.
The medical examiner's office actually classified it as a homicide. So at that point, obviously, we started working the investigation as a homicide investigation.
What about Pat Carter?
She's still listed and being investigated as a missing endangered person.
And with Kelly found murdered, she's no longer a viable suspect in the disappearance of Pat. So investigators turn their attention back to the last known people to see Kelly and Pat alive.
Anthony and Stacy Merault.
Stacy, as in Pat's own daughter.
What was Stacy Merault's relationship like with her mother?
Confrontational at times.
Confrontational at
Yes.
times. Ever physical?
There were some allegations of physical activity between her and her mother, yes.
Was Stacy ever arrested for getting physical with her mom?
I believe she was arrested for domestic violence.
But that's not all.
Now, according to reports, you guys executed a search warrant at Pat Carter's home. Were you able to find anything?
We did find items of interest that we did collect, yes.
Among the evidence, an eviction notice filed with Hillsborough Court. It appears Pat wanted Stacy and Anthony out.
They was giving her all kinds of problems.
In Pat's own handwriting, she states, I, Doris Carter, request my daughter, Stacy Merault, husband Anthony Merault, and granddaughter to vacate my premises immediately due to an extended length of time undesirable to myself that these individuals have been occupying my residence.
And did that get contentious?
The Meraults weren't happy about it, and I do believe that they expressed that.
On December 15th, a judge ordered Stacy and Anthony Merault to leave Pat's home.
Were they looking for another place to live? Did they have bags packed?
No.
No?
No.
And on December 16th, just 24 hours after that court order,
the women were never seen again.
What a coincidence.
What a coincidence.
Do you believe that's a coincidence?
No, I don't.
And the possible motive, according to Pat's brother?
That she didn't want my sister to marry Kelly because she thought that she'd be cut out of the will for anything, or any cash, any land, or anything.
But the twists and turns don't end there. According to reports, there's bank surveillance video which allegedly shows Stacy accessing her mother's safe deposit box just 3 days after she went missing.
And took out whatever was in that safe deposit box.
Also, the families claim that Stacy's husband, Anthony, allegedly sold off Pat's jewelry and guns soon after her disappearance.
We do know that she had guns that were left by her husband underneath her bed. They were taken by Anthony to a pawn shop, along with jewelry, and were sold at the pawn shop.
And what does the Hillsborough Sheriff's Department think about these accusations made by the Moriarty and Carter families against Stacy and Anthony Murault?
It's the sheriff's office stance as of right now not to discuss the details in reference to the evidence that was collected.
So I figured I'd go straight to the source and give Stacy a chance to tell her side of the story. We know she's home. A PI working with us has been watching her every move.
Stacy Murault? I see nothing. The lights are out, no movement. So here's the plan. We're going to give it a little time. We're going to come back and do a door knock. Maybe they are still sleeping and they can't hear us loudly knocking. I doubt it, but give them the benefit of the doubt.
Then, as we are on the road, we get word from our PI that Stacy was in fact home, and now she's in her car. Our PI is hot on her trail, and we are right behind them.
She's running 90 plus, okay?
So they're actually speeding away.
Oh, they're hauling ass.
It looks like they actually are trying to evade us. Because as soon as we left...
This is where the non-assessor would end up with. Where are they?
Where are they now?
She's running 90. I'm backing way down. We're passing exit 17. She's in and out of traffic.
For the safety of everyone involved, the chase is called off. She obviously doesn't want to speak with us. But the Muraults will have to answer to the Hillsborough Sheriff's Department as long as they remain persons of interest.
Definitely. We spoke to them and we continue to make attempts to speak to them.
Still, after 5 long years and no arrests, the families are understandably frustrated. Kelly's brother Brendan is an attorney. He believes there is more than enough circumstantial evidence to at least present the case to a grand jury.
The fact right now is that someone out there that literally cut my sister into pieces that has not been charged, not been arrested. There's been absolutely nothing accomplished at this point in finding out who did this to my sister.
The Moriarty and Carter families are united in their hope that one day this case will be solved.
We know Kelly's dead. All I want, and Grace wants, and our family wants, and the Carter family wants, justice for the 2 women.
Once again, investigators need your help to crack this case. So if you saw Kelly and Pat in the days after they were reported missing or have any information you think might help this case, you're asked to call the Crime Stoppers of Tampa Bay hotline. That number is 1-800-873-TIPS. You can remain anonymous. Next, a teen vanishes, and days later his friend disappears too.
Immediately, I knew that there was more to it than a runaway situation.
No tips, no clues. The only thing police have to go on is a few cryptic text messages. Crime Watch Daily joins the search for the teens.
Do you believe he's alive?
Then an escaped prisoner leads police on a wild chase with a landing you won't believe. Oh my God. Coming up. Today, Crime Watch Daily is joining local law enforcement and the FBI as they try to find 2 missing teens who both vanished under suspicious circumstances. Melissa McCarty is in Northern California now with the very latest.
Chris, the mother of Enrique Rios thought her son went to school, but he never made it. In fact, later in the day, she would receive a troubling text message from his cell phone.
I just can't anymore.
Her beloved boy has vanished without a trace.
I need my son home. He needs to come home.
It's gut-wrenching to watch, but the mystery and tragedy only deepens. Cops say his classmate has also disappeared.
Not one tip, not one call.
It's very odd.
Are they teenage runaways, or is it far more sinister?
Whoever doesn't have the heart to come forward and just say what's going on, where the boys are, if they're okay.
Lola Rios Gutierrez has been teetering on the edge of an emotional precipice ever since the last time she saw her 17-year-old son Enrique, who failed to show up for school on a cold October morning.
He never made it.
So when he didn't come home that night, then what?
It went to a point where I started getting angry So I was sending him some messages and saying, you know, you need to get your butt home, you need to come home, but he would never respond. And I reported him missing.
It's been 5 long months of heartbreaking silence. Lola says there are many pieces to the puzzle that just don't fit.
The last thing I saw him wearing was shorts and a t-shirt, and it was cold. I mean, he didn't take anything. He was so happy to have his ID. I don't see him leaving this behind.
Now all Lola can do is comfort her crying toddler who misses her big brother too.
She said he'll never have a new life like this.
At first, the local cops believed Enrique had simply run away from home in the small town of Esparto, 34 miles west of Sacramento, California. He had done it before. But this time, investigators say the case was about to take a bizarre and troubling turn. Less than 3 weeks after the search started for Enrique Rios, investigators would get a report of another missing teen.
Immediately, I knew that there was more to it than a runaway situation.
Alicia Moore is the mother of 17-year-old Elijah, a friend of Enrique's who attended the same school. No one seems to know just how close the two teens were, but just 18 days after Enrique disappears, Elijah mysteriously goes missing.
That is not his behavior.
At this check cashing place, surveillance video shows Elijah walking up to the counter to cash a paycheck. He briefly speaks to the cashier, then puts the empty envelope away and walks out. He was never seen again.
He was like, "Mom, I'll be home in a little bit. I'm just gonna cash my check," but he never made it home.
Alicia says it simply wasn't in his nature to run off like that.
Elijah is very family oriented and definitely a mama's boy.
Alicia filed a missing persons report with the local cops too. At first, she was frustrated.
I went back to the check cashing to see had anyone come to retrieve the video footage. And when they told me that no one had showed up, no police or law enforcement, then that's when I got really angry, and it was because he was labeled a runaway.
Even with barely a shred of hard evidence, investigators began to connect the dots, and it sketched a sinister picture.
He's no longer using his phone, he's no longer accessing Facebook, he's no longer communicating with family members that he normally communicated with on a daily basis.
For Lola and Alicia, it told them only one thing. Did you immediately say it's connected?
I felt like it was connected right away. I was really nervous, and I reached out to his mom. It was very alarming that they both went missing from the same program, from the same school.
And that's not all. Indeed, the missing boys were pals and classmates, and they both worked at a construction site, part of an after-school program for teenagers at risk.
Everyone knows everyone here. Everyone knows everyone's business. Everyone's in everybody's business. But when it comes to this, no one's saying anything.
But someone did say something. Lola and Alicia had received suspicious texts from their sons explaining why they weren't coming home. In one, Enrique cryptically explains, "I need some time. I can't handle all of this." His mother Tesley replies, "What is all of this?" Enrique reportedly volleys back, "There's too much pressure on me."
Even the detectives that have gone through his messages and everything, they don't think that it would be something that he would write.
Alicia said the same thing.
It was from Elijah's phone, but the message said, "I'm in the Bay Area with the girl." Now, I have family in the Bay Area, and for Elijah to go to the Bay Area and not contact anyone is completely out of character.
What do you think is happening there if it is someone else that took control of his phone?
I think it's against his will.
The FBI has stepped in to help distribute flyers across the U.S. and Mexico. There's even a GoFundMe page, but the motive behind the boys' disappearances remains as murky and deep as the ocean floor.
They may have disappeared together, they may have disappeared separately, but they're friends. They have some ties to each other, so we can't discount anything.
In regards to Elijah, he had to have been either overpowered by more than 2 people or drugged.
Do you think there is a scenario that involves the 2 of them together?
I'm thinking that at some point they met someone. They met someone and they both knew someone. And that someone earned their trust, gained their trust, and lured them off.
In her darkest hours, Lola fears the worst, that she'll never see her only son again.
Whoever doesn't have the heart to come forward and just say what's going on, where the boys are, if they're okay.
I want to believe that my son is alive. I want to believe that 100%. Because I want to see my son again. I want to hug my son again. I want to kiss him, and I want to be able to continue to tell him that I love him. And then there is the other, you know, if he's not. I hope he didn't suffer.
Two mothers who never knew each other now share the same grief.
Enrique. Baby boy, if you see my video, I love you. If you can call me, call me. I need you home, baby. I need you home.
I'm not gonna stop looking for Elijah or anyone who was involved in my son's disappearance till I take my last breath.
Once again, here are pictures of Elijah Moore and Enrique Rios. Both boys are 17 years old. There's a $10,000 reward being offered for information that leads to their whereabouts. If you know anything, you can call an anonymous tip line. The number is 1-800-225-5324. Let's help solve this mystery. Coming up, a sick woman was supposed to spend her final months being cared for. Her family says she had to endure the unthinkable.
She said, Mommy, she said, you don't understand what happens here when you're gone.
Crime Watch Daily with a nurse under fire for what she allegedly did while working the night shift. Next. You go to the hospital to get better, but a Colorado family says that's certainly not the case for them. In fact, before things were over, one of the nurses caring for their loved one would end up arrested. We're teaming up with our affiliate KDVR for the very latest. Here's Anna Garcia.
Could this hospital be a house of horrors?
She said, Mommy, she said, you don't understand what happens here when you're gone.
Behind the doors of Denver's Swedish hospital, the treatment for at least one patient, slaps and blows, all coming at the hands of what one family says is the nurse from hell.
She was a good daughter. For me, it's hard because it's hard. It's just hard.
Karen Ramos tearfully remembers the phone call she got from her 42-year-old bedridden daughter.
At nighttime, she said, you know, I move a lot and I can't control myself. And she always thrashed her legs. She said, the nurse came in and told me I needed to stop. She said, Mom, she goes, I couldn't stop. So she punched me in the legs and she pinched me.
Her daughter Serena telling her mother the horrors she endured at the hands of a nurse on the night shift.
In all honesty, I didn't believe her because I thought it was a medication.
But cops now say this young woman is the nurse who assaulted Serena in her hospital bed in the dead of night. Our Denver affiliate, KDVR, confronts Savannah Andrzak about the alleged abuse.
Did you slap Serena?
No comment.
Why was Karen Ramos's daughter in the nurse's care to begin with? Serena Cisneros was a vivacious woman and mother of two who had a weight problem and decided to undergo lap band surgery. But tragically, 10 years after getting the lap band, Serena developed sepsis, a potentially fatal bacterial infection.
There was a time where she told me, Mom, I can't even think for myself anymore.
Serena's health quickly deteriorated. She was admitted to Denver's Swedish Medical Center for long-term care.
She couldn't sit up. She couldn't go to the bathroom for herself. She couldn't feed herself.
Because of the medication she was taking, Serena would thrash her arms and legs. She was soon put in restraints to keep from hurting herself.
She would always ask, am I safe here? Am I safe here? And do you know how many times I said yes, and in reality she really wasn't?
Shockingly, Andrzak reportedly attacked Serena while another hospital employee was in the room.
If she could do that, it makes me wonder how many times has she done it to somebody without a witness in the room.
A police report says the hospital employee witnessed Savannah slap the patient across the face in an aggressive manner.
It makes me very angry. My sister was so sick that she couldn't even defend herself.
The enraged family filed a police report against Savannah, and she was charged with 1 count of assault and has pled not guilty. Swedish Medical Center subsequently fired Andrzak and reported her to the state nursing board. But unbelievably, 3 months after the alleged assault, her license was still active. A spokesperson for the Colorado Board of Nursing issued this statement. Cases before the Colorado Board of Nursing are closed to the public by state law, but any public disciplinary actions would be made public.
I would like to see Savannah lose her license due to the fact that this may be her first offense that she's been caught for, but you don't get that second chance to damage somebody else's family.
Tragically, Serena lost her life due to her illness just months after the alleged abuse.
Is there any apology you want to make to Serena's family?
No comment. When you put your family in somebody's hands that take the nursing oath, it means that you will take care of somebody and not harm them.
Cisneros' family is furious that Andrzak's nursing license has not been revoked, and she is now working at another hospital.
I just want justice for my sister.
This is not a Hollywood stunt.
Oh my God!
It's just one of the wildest caught-on-camera moments going viral this week. We start in Dixie Inn, Louisiana. Before this truck was a heap of mangled metal, police had been chasing it. Behind the wheel, 18-year-old Cavante Austin, who recently escaped from a jail work release program. With the truck hitting speeds of 115 miles an hour at times, police make a crucial decision. They use patrol cars to block the road. That gives the suspect only one choice: try to drive around them, right through a stormwater drainage ditch. Bad idea.
Oh my God!
The truck would land on the top of a Toyota Corolla sitting in a restaurant parking lot. Inside that vehicle at the time, a quick-thinking driver who ducked into the passenger seat and amazingly escaped unharmed. Austin also survived his impromptu Dukes of Hazzard moment and has now been charged with several felonies, including attempted first-degree murder. He's being held without bond. Now to Brooklyn, Ohio. This is the dramatic ending to another high-speed chase. Now let's rewind to the start. An officer pulls over a minivan being driven by Thomas LaForce. Police say he's got active warrants out for his arrest.
Why don't you jump out of the car for me?
LaForce has other ideas, putting the car into drive and taking off, the officer being dragged along with him.
All right, that car just took off, and he drug me from the vehicle.
He climbs back into his patrol car and the chase is on, weaving through the streets until the suspect runs a red light and the officer decides to perform the pit maneuver, hitting the minivan's back bumper. Eyewitness Chris Jake describes what happened next.
The thing went sideways towards my truck, and then it started rolling, and then smashed on the front of my truck.
Show me your hands! Show me your hands!
When all the weapons were out, I was like, I think bullets are flying, I'm ducking.
With the driver trapped, police kick in the windshield.
Keep your hands out, dude. Keep your hands out.
Get out of the car! Face down!
You got any weapons on you, dude?
LaForce is eventually charged with felonious assault on a police officer and fleeing and eluding. The officer dragged by the minivan was taken to the hospital and treated for minor injuries. He's already back on the streets, but no doubt he will remember this day for a long time.
Idea!